He
I
made
believe
some
that.
real good points. They talk about the boat. That seems to be the main thing. He just said is basically saying there are a lot of parties that would just love to see us going to war with Iran.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I'm just saying I had meant to re-listen to his interview again. I haven't had a chance to do it and get some of the finer points.
I was writing to a friend of mine who's ex-CIA. Guy's been involved in a lot of stuff. He has an international security company now. He follows all this stuff. And we were talking about it. One of the points he says is America needs to keep out of there. We need to stay away from Iran right now. We have enough oil. Just keep the sanctions on. We don't need a war. And so we were talking about the activity that's with the mines. And, come on, what are the odds they're going to film this Iranian Revolutionary Guard boat taking the mines off of a boat that they'd already placed them on because they might be evidence? No, you just blow another hole. That's ridiculous. 2, if you have them on film, if a U.S. naval vessel is actually seeing them take it off, how do they know they're not putting it on?
It's a drone. It wasn't the vessel, I think, wasn't it? Wasn't it a drone, that camera footage?
Okay, so it was. So nonetheless, somebody saw it happening and didn't pursue that vessel because that's an international act of piracy right there, trying to sink a foreign registered vessel when there's no active war.
Yeah.
So this is bad all around. And Iran has no interest in having, if they're not going to claim this, then they get no interest in trying to restrict foreigners from going through the Gulf. They have no interest in that. But the Sauds have a real interest in making, like I'm sure your friend on the radio said, the false flag operation, making the Iranians look like the bad guys so that we will go after them. And we need to stay out of that.
What is the upside for the Iranians, though?
None.
Would the Iranian government, which is probably a little precipitous at this moment, would they gain by having the Iranian population say, we've been attacked by the U.S., because if the U.S. attacks over something like this, does that shore up their support at home?
Well, what it does is it brings on the 12th Imam. Okay?
Yeah.
If you look at it, maybe it's a rogue element of the Iranian regime. Maybe it's the main element of the Iranian regime. But if they get this conflagration going in the Middle East that the 12th Imam pops up, hey, that's their theology. Yeah. So maybe that's it. That would be the only way I could see it.
All I can say is I do hope that the president takes a strong, slow look at this before anyone jumps the gun and does something silly. Let's make sure we've got all the people on board, that the entire world is against Iran before anything happens. Let's find the evidence. Let's see the evidence. Let's investigate and show it to the world before we do anything stupid. Because yes, we do not need war again.
It wasn't any of our flagged vessels that got tagged.
All right. Well, thanks, Tom. I appreciate the call.
Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
Glad you brought that up because we were going to talk about that. Now we need to talk about the last thing that's really important.
What's that?
The changing of the guard in the press secretary office.
Sarah Sanders.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I play
were you
the
as
clip?
outraged, though? Before we go to that, were you as outraged as I was by the way the mainstream media, the left and the mainstream media, went after her, saying just flat out calling her a liar?
Well, how about in the press thing last year where the White House press
Daily Press thing?
No. Where they had that big dinner and that so-called comedian came up and mocked her miserably.
White House, whatever.
Yes, press dinner. Yes. I mean, the poor lady's been through a lot. And then to have your own boss get upset with you because of your popularity at a rally and fire you. Derek, would you play that, please? I mean, she had just spoken, and the crowd loves Sarah Sanders. And now the president comes up to the podium. You see how much they love her.
Oh, she doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. She doesn't understand me after all these years. She's becoming too popular. I'm jealous. Sarah, you're fired!
Now, I mean, how long would you stay on the job after something like that? Wouldn't you feel that you need to leave before you?
Yeah, She's popular with the Trump supporters.
Yes.
That's for sure. Because you know what? Like the president himself, she stood up and she put an end to that nonsense
Acosta
and the rest of the people at the daily press briefings who were just looking for attention.
She wasn't diplomatic with them. She just called them for what they were. I mean, there's a great clips of her telling them off.
Yeah.
So who's going to get the job?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Do you think Kellyanne?
I don't believe it'll be Kellyanne. Could it be a Candace Owen?
Would she be a good press secretary?
I don't know.
You got to have a spokesman. What about what's his face, Ryan Priebus? Him back or Sean Spicer?
I don't think you'll
bring
get
Sean
either.
Spicer back.
I liked Sean, but I don't think you'll get either one. But I do think you're going to get another pit bull.
Think we'll get Kimberly Guilfoyle?
No, I don't think so.
Dana Perina come back?
No, absolutely not. I don't know who you're going to get, but it's going to be somebody who's got. They're going to have to be
Byron York.
I would like to see Byron York.
Yeah,
but I don't know that he would.
Yeah,
he's
got too big a career for that.
Yeah, too big a career. I don't think he would leave that. But let's take care of a little business that we didn't take care of.
Yeah.
Speaking of all the digging that we've done on this show and other shows, Dig It Services, LLC, complete mini excavator and skid steer services. Mike Kuzma's the guy, 248-789-7619. That's 248-789-7619. Mike's got new equipment. Mike's got the experience. Don't try and tackle those jobs around the house by yourself. If you've got work on the outside of your house with a wet season like we've had, you've got some issues, you need an excavator, call Mike Kuzma, 248-789-7619. All right, and that's the end of the show.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a good show. Thanks for all the callers, and we appreciate it. Until next time, go to thedailydrift.com and support our advertisers at The Current, COURANT online.com. See you next week.